Christine XP and welcome to the Brain XP community. In today's Train Your Brain video, I'm going to be giving you my 10 tips on coping with psychosis. All of the tips today are based on my personal experience with psychosis, so hopefully they can help you, but it's not guaranteed. Everyone's going to be different, but I want to share how I cope with psychosis. Number one is to get enough sleep. I feel like not sleeping is just going to make anything worse, especially a mental health challenge in my opinion. But if you can't sleep, which is something that I really struggled with for a long time, I couldn't get to sleep, I couldn't stay asleep. You can try drinking sleepy time tea before you go to bed. You can try using a white noise machine also when you're sleeping. Or you can even go down the route of getting a psychiatrist who might be able to prescribe you medication to help you sleep. But sleeping is very important, so that's definitely number one. And also, I know for a lot of people that have experienced psychosis, not me personally with this example, but a lot of the times people have a hard time sleeping because it's dark in their room and it's a little scary, especially if you have hallucinations as part of your psychotic symptoms. So if that is a problem, you can use a nightlight or just turn a light on in your bathroom, connect it to your room, or if you don't have that, just use a nightlight. The thing is that it doesn't make you weak and it doesn't make you seem like a little kid. It's just coping with psychosis is something you might have to do. So that might be helpful for you if that is an issue with your psychotic symptoms. Number two is to bring earbuds everywhere you go. And I mean everywhere. Because you never know when things are gonna get loud or just weird noises are gonna happen. You just might need the earbuds to block out that noise. Especially for me, because I was triggered a lot by loud noises, or even just being in my own home. If people are talking too loud or talking over each other, that would trigger me in some ways. So for example, part of my psychosis was that I had a huge paranoia of fire. I literally would think I was smelling fire and anywhere I went. And there was no fire, nothing was burning, but I would just smell it and I would feel like there's fire. So when we went to restaurants, I'd always bring my earbuds because I never know if we're gonna get seated next to the kitchen. If there is sizzling going on in the kitchen, my mind freaks out. I think fire, I think, oh my gosh, it's gonna burn down. Whatever it is, that paranoia kicks in. But if I have my earbuds, it blocks out that noise a little bit and it makes it a lot easier to manage my symptoms and cope with them. Number three is to not name your demons. Now, when I say that, everyone who experienced psychosis is a little bit different. My personal thing was I would experience 3 demonic figures. So I just call them my demons, inner demons, whatever you want to call them. They're my hallucinations. So maybe you can relate to this, maybe you can't, but I just want to share that naming your demons is basically giving them the respect and the power that they don't deserve. So my demons just happen to be extremely mean and unkind and pretty miserable trying to deal with them. So what I would say is that naming them gives them that power, it gives them that respect. But the hard thing about my experience was that I would try to explain to my family or my therapist or my friends or whoever, I would try to explain what was going on in my mind, and I would constantly refer to these demons, but since I had 3 demonic figures that I would see, it was getting hard for them to understand which one I was talking about. So I thought maybe I can name them, give them a name so it's easier to talk about them and people can understand better, I can explain it better. But then I thought about it and I'm like, I can't name them. It makes them part of the family, it makes them have that power and that respect. So what I decided to do is I decided to number them. So I had 1, 2, and 3 were my demons, and that's how I referred to them. It made things a lot easier for explanation purposes, but it also made me feel like I had more control over my own life, because when you have psychosis or you're experiencing psychosis, it makes you feel less powerful. It makes you feel like you don't have control over your own life, or it can at times. So I think that numbering the demons was just another sign to me that I am strong, I have the strength to get through it, and I do have power over my life. Number 4 is to follow my music strategy. Now this is interesting because I came up with this music strategy myself. I'm sure it existed somewhere else too, but I thought of it myself for my experiences. So when I say follow my music strategy, I would listen to music all the time. That is one of my greatest coping skills. But the thing is that I would try to get the music to bring me to a better place. So I might be really scared, I might be really upset, I might be sad, I might be depressed, anxious, whatever it is that I'm feeling. I would try to get out of that zone by listening to happy, upbeat pop music and try to get myself from one place all the way to the other side. It didn't work. So I created my music strategy. So what I would do is I would start with a song that matched my mood. So if I was sad, I'd start with a sad song. If I was scared, I'd start with a song that maybe brought up those emotions for me. And I worked my way up to the happy music. So it's a little bit more realistic trying to take yourself from where you're at to a better place without trying to do an immediate switch like that. It just doesn't work for me. So I followed this music strategy. Usually I listen up to 4 to 5 songs just to get from one place to the other, and then I can jam out to whatever I want to. But that really, really helped me, and if you're a music lover and you listen to music, this might be a great option for you. Number 5 is a really interesting one. I did not come up with this. One of my friends told me about it, but I just loved it so much I wanted to share it. And number 5 is to observe your pets, especially a dog if you have a dog, or dogs if you have a couple of dogs. So for example, if you are hallucinating and you feel like there is something there, for my example, it might be a demon might be coming up to me, and you're hallucinating that. If you look at your pet, especially dogs, like I said, because they're very animated, just look at your pet. If they're not freaking out, if they're not acting weird or reacting to the demon, then you know it's not really there. Number 6 is to wear sunglasses. Now this is interesting because for me, some of my psychosis symptoms would trigger up by intense light. So if you're stepping outside of your house into the sun outside, that can be really intense, and to this day I still have some eye issues with that. Like, I can't step out of the house and be in bright lights, it's just kind of weird. But wearing sunglasses can block out that intense light, and it just can be very helpful. So if you can, wear them. If you can't, like at school or whatever, when we can go back to school, I know it's COVID right now, but once we do go back to school, if you can't wear sunglasses, I understand, but it's just a great option when you can wear them. And by the way, I do want to mention this now because I don't think I've said it yet in this video. I don't experience psychosis symptoms anymore. No hallucinations, no delusions. The loud noise and the light still kind of bother me a bit, but it's not like triggering my symptoms. So I just want to let you guys know that these are things that I did in the past that really helped me get to the place I am now. So they work for me, and I hope they can work for you. Now number 7, create a realistic daily routine and stick to it. There's a couple of big things to incorporate into your routine, and we want to be realistic, which is why I say keep the routine realistic. Don't go so far out there, like I'm gonna get this done every day and this done and this done and this done. If you can't do it, that's okay. Don't set the bar so high that you'll be disappointed if you don't reach it. So being on schedule helps me feel in control of my life, which can really help with psychosis symptoms, or at least help me. Besides the obvious stuff like attending school if you're in school, or going to work if you work, there are a couple of things that I incorporated in my routine that have been very beneficial. So the first one is healthy lifestyle. So exercise, eating healthy, that's going to be good for anyone, but especially if you're dealing with a mental health challenge like psychosis. It gives you that structure, it gives you that sense of accomplishment, like I'm getting things done, I'm sticking to a healthy lifestyle, I'm fit. It just makes you feel better about yourself, which really is for anyone, but especially if you're dealing with a mental health challenge. And the second thing that can be incorporated into your daily routine is hygiene, a hygiene portion of your day. It's really hard to explain sometimes, but I know that people who've dealt with psychosis would understand me when I say this, but it is so hard to get out there and exercise at times, but it's even harder sometimes to keep up a good hygiene routine. You just let everything slip away. Things are confusing, they're jumbled up in your brain. It's very difficult, but we have to stick to it because showering, skincare, changing clothes, that all makes us feel good inside, and I know it really, really helped me feel better about myself. I went overboard. I kind of took at least two showers a day, skincare, new products, just all these different scrubs and everything. I kind of went over the top because I was really into the hygiene part of trying to stay good on hygiene wise. But then again, everyone's gonna be different. I'm just saying that having good hygiene can really just slip out the window if you're not careful. So that's definitely something that you can incorporate into your routine if possible. Number 8 is to find at least 3 main coping skills. Now we have a huge teen toolbox of coping skills on the BrainXP website. You can easily find it by going to brainxp.org, hovering over the teen tab, you'll see the teen toolbox. It will also be linked in the description box if that's helpful for you. It really goes into all the different coping skills. It has a huge list of coping skills you can choose from. It teaches you how to use the coping skills. What I would say is definitely look up the creative coping skills in the toolbox, the interactive skills in the toolbox, and the personal skills, because those have been best for me. But basically what I would do is I would pick out one main coping skill that I could use at school, one main coping skill that I could use at home, and then one main coping skill that I could use anywhere I go. Those might be similar to each other, they might be completely different coping skills from each other, but just finding something to help you in every atmosphere that you're in, every aspect of your life. And I know that we're doing a lot of virtual schooling right now, but eventually when we do go back to school, it's great to have that coping skill ready because, for example, I would play guitar at home, that's my coping skill, play the guitar. I don't have that option at school when I was in school, so picking out some different ones that you can use during all these different times of your life. And number 9 is to practice memory exercises. And this sounds weird, but I swear, like, I don't know if it's the psychosis or the prescribed meds I was on, but I lose my train of thought. I can't keep track of anything going on in my mind with memory-wise ever since I started struggling with psychosis. I'll literally be about to say something and then I'll forget what I want to say. It's the most annoying thing ever. I'll also be trying to say something and I can't figure out the word I want to use. It can be as simple as a basic word that I would use in everyday language, but when I have to find that word to explain something, I can't do it. It's really annoying actually, but if I had practiced memory exercises along this journey, I think my brain would be a little bit more sharp and less foggy. But yeah, so I would definitely practice the memory exercises in the case that you might lose your train of thought or have racing thoughts and just can't keep up with them. And number 10 is to challenge your hallucination thoughts. Challenging your inner thoughts from your hallucinations, or whatever you want to call them, that can be really, really difficult. It took me a long time to figure out how to do that. But basically, for example, if you are taking a test in school or an exam, you're already a little anxious, already a little nervous, and you have this voice in your head that's telling you, oh my gosh, you're worthless, you're never gonna ace this test, you have no worth, you can't amount to anything. What I would do is challenge that, or at least I learned how to do that, challenge that. Say in your mind, dang, I'm getting put down a lot. I'm gonna have a prove 'em wrong moment. I'm gonna use this as motivation. I'm gonna take everything they're saying and slam it in their face, which is that's a little overboard. But yeah, I would just kind of challenge that and take everything, every mean word, every harsh, unkind thing that they said to me, and I'd say, you know what? I'm gonna prove them wrong. And that's just like in everyday life. There's people that you don't like, or people that you come across that are just stuck up or that don't believe in you. You want to prove them wrong. So prove these voices in your head wrong. Use it as motivation. It's a little tricky trying to do that, but challenging your thoughts is incredibly helpful. And lastly, I have one extra bonus tip that I want to give you guys, and that is that building a support structure is so beneficial. It is like essential in helping yourself get through these psychotic symptoms. Of course, you can join the Brain XP community. All you have to do to join the Brain XP community is follow us on Instagram, TikTok, sign up for a free newsletter on the Brain XP website, brainxp.org. I'll have a link in the description box to all of these things for you to easily sign up or join. The thing is that we have one common goal, and we want to eliminate this stigma. We want to really teach more about mental health education in schools and get this becoming a normalized topic, and the conversation can keep going around these things, especially psychosis. This is hidden under the rug with so many things, but it's okay, we can talk about it. So join the Brain XP community, we can connect with each other there, and that's a great support structure. The other thing I want to mention is that we want to eliminate the stigma. I said that earlier, but the reason why we want to do that is to really make our atmosphere more positive and more understanding and less fearful. For example, this is only if you're comfortable doing this. I understand that a lot of times it can be very difficult to do this, but as you're experiencing psychosis, document it. Take videos, talk about the experiences you're having, write down journal entries, maybe write a song about your experiences. Do these things to document it, because eventually one day when you do want to share these things, you can help so many people who might be fearful of coming out about these issues or their struggles, and you can really, really help yourself and other people at the same time, and it helps us normalize this topic of psychosis. So just an idea, join the Brain XP community. We love you, and the Brain XP community is very respectful and very caring and very welcoming, and I just think that it's a great support structure. So I hope this video was helpful for you. Please comment down below if any of these tips help you out at all. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so you'll be notified when we post new Brain XP videos. And also, again, don't forget to follow Brain XP on Instagram and TikTok at Brain XP Project. Always remember, keep smiling, stay positive, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!